I took from the offering first for a suit, telling myself a pastor should look sharp for God's glory. One suit became a wardrobe, then a sleek sedan. I deserved it, I thought. I'm Pastor Ezekiel, Pastor Zeke to Grace Abundant Church, where I preached for 20 years about God's love and suffering as his test. But behind the pulpit, I lived differently, until one member's questions unraveled everything. I started Grace Abundant in a rented hall, a young preacher with a worn Bible. The church grew, and so did the offerings, cash, checks, trust. I preached sacrifice, and they gave generously. I said it was for pews, sound systems, outreach. But soon I saw the money as mine. I was God's servant, carrying their souls. A little comfort wasn't sin. By the time we moved to a bigger building, I had a mansion, 4 bedrooms, a pool, marble counters. I called it God's favor, quoting Luke 6:38, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." I flew first class to conferences, stayed in fancy hotels, and told my congregation their giving spread the gospel. They believed me, their shepherd. I'd preach, suffering is God's chisel, shaping you for heaven, to worn-out workers and single mothers, their faces tired but faithful. I promised eternal rewards while driving home to my earthly mansion. I saw their struggles, bills, sick kids, lost jobs. I'd pray with them, promising God's provision, but kept the church money for myself, watches, Bahamas vacations, a second car for my wife. I called it blessings for the church's future, but I knew better. Then came Daniel, a quiet member who sat in the back, taking notes. One Sunday, he stayed after service. "Pastor, you say suffering's God's plan, but you're not suffering," he said. "Big house, fancy car, where's the money coming from?" I laughed it off, saying God blesses his servants, but his words stung. "You tell us to suffer for heaven, but you're living like it's here," he said. I told him to pray, but I couldn't shake his gaze. I preached harder, quoting to Corinthians, about affliction and glory, avoiding Daniel's eyes. But I saw him talking to members outside, their faces serious. Offerings dwindled, and attendance dropped. Mrs. Clara and Brother James stopped coming. Whispers spread. Daniel was asking, "Where's the money going?" He pointed to my Mercedes, my house, my trips. If suffering's God's plan, was he living like a king? Some defended me, but others listened to him. I called Daniel to my office. "You're causing division," I said. He looked at my mahogany desk, leather couch. "The Bible says a shepherd lays down his life for the sheep, not takes their money," he replied. I told him to trust God, but his words haunted me. Offerings kept shrinking. The board asked for financial reports. I stalled, knowing they'd see thousands spent on my lifestyle. The sanctuary grew empty. A news station caught wind, likely from Daniel, and dug up my house, cars, and vacation receipts. My face was on TV with the headline, "Pastor Lives in Luxury While Congregation Struggles." That Sunday, only a few loyal members came. I preached about persecution, but my voice cracked. Daniel watched from the back. After service, he said, "It's not too late to make things right. Tell the truth." I couldn't answer. I drove home to my mansion, its marble floors and chandelier mocking me. I'd taken from people who trusted me, preaching suffering while living like a king. I thought of running, but my face was everywhere, TV, social media, calling me a fraud. I opened my old Bible to Matthew 19:24, about the rich man and the needle's eye, a verse I'd avoided. It felt like God asking, "What have you done, Ezekiel?" I couldn't sleep. The next day, I told the board I was stepping down. I sold the cars and valuables to repay what I could, though much was gone, but it was a start. Daniel leads a Bible study now, no offerings, just faith and truth. I want to go, but I'm not sure I'd be welcome. I'm just Ezekiel now, a man who lost his way. I still believe in God, but I don't know if he believes in me. One day, I might face my congregation and say I'm sorry. For now, I'm learning to live with the truth.